a big fight everyone talk about, Spence and Ugas. You know Ugas very well. Do you think he wins that fight?
He has a strong possibility, man. I think people overlook him a lot, but he has a lot of experience. He has a lot of skills, and he does have a chance, man.
What's underrated about him, you think?
I think people. I mean, that's what I thought too, man. When I used to see his boxing tape, I felt that he was always like in front of you. But he's very tricky, man. Like he'll be there, but he's ready for a counter punch. I think that's one of his strongest suits, man. And he counter punches hard, man. So he's always dangerous.
Is that right hand his best shot?
Yeah, definitely, man. I think his right hand is the strongest punch.
Do you think against a southpaw like Spence, it's going to be there? He'll be
exactly. And I think Ugas does very good against southpaws, man. He did a great job against Pacquiao. So I mean, he has a very good shot.
Do you think he has the power to keep Spence's respect and keep him on?
I think so, man. I think he has decent power.
Did you ever spar or work with Errol Spence ever in the amateurs when you were coming up, or
never, man, never. I mean, we were in the same. I think in 2009, 2010, we were at the Olympic Training Center, but he was fighting a weight class above me. He was at 152, I was at 141.
Okay.
I saw him there a lot, but we never got to spar each other.
Okay. Just again, just because it's a fight we're interested in. Does he look 100% still like in the Danny Garcia fight, Errol Spence?
I think so, man. I think he looked great against Danny Garcia, man. He's just so strong, man. He's so big and strong, It's just, to me, he looked very good against Danny Garcia.
If you did have to pick a winner, do you give an edge to either fighter?
I think Spence, just because of his youth,
Right.
But like I said, man, I wouldn't be surprised if Ugas pulled an upset.
And he throws a lot of punches per round, too, right?
Yeah.
How difficult is that
exactly,
to deal
man.
with?
I think his activity is he throws a lot of punches, and he's coming from a big welterweight. I think they take a wear and tear on their opponents. So, yeah, man. I think all those things. It's going to be an exciting fight, man. I'm very excited for that fight.
That's a little more trickier. I'll still go with Errol, but I believe that Ugas has the ability to make that fight difficult. He's not going to be in Errol's face. He's going to box. He's going to stay long, and he's going to make Errol have to work to get close. I think all of that matters.
Is Spence Ugas going to be a close fight, you think?
Nah, I see Spence beating Ugas up. If Errol is 100%, I see him beating him up, and I think it's time to make the Errol Spence Crawford fight.
That's a big if, though, right? Coming off an eye injury like that, to where we really don't see a lot of fighters in combat sports coming back, right? Do you think there's kind of concern there, or is kind of like with the car accident? Let's see what you do once you step into the ring.
I mean, I seen him with Danny Garcia. I seen him with Danny. I feel like he was kind of sharp. Wasn't as strong as he usually is, but he was definitely smart and picking great punches, and he definitely put on a great show with Danny. So I don't think there's going to be any problem with Ugas. I think Ugas is a great fighter, but styles make fights, and I think Errol's style is wrong for Ugas.
Yeah, Ugas stay in front of you too much to beat Errol, and he ain't got the strength to bang with Errol.
Yeah, he kind of used that high guard just like Errol, so it might be a phone booth kind of fight, and I don't see him winning no phone booth fight with Errol Spence.
Yeah, Errol got the bigger guns, right?
Yeah, for sure. And he's a smarter fighter, I think.
Smarter than Ugas?
Yeah, I think he's smarter than Ugas. Ugas is a smart fighter, don't get me wrong, but I think Errol is a smarter fighter.
Thank you. Spence Ugas. Who do you see winning that fight, Amir?
Yeah, Ugas is a very clever fighter because, I fought him in the amateurs as well. And I beat him in the World Championships. And he was fighting for Cuba at the time. I was representing England. He is a very technical southpaw. End of the day, he'll make you miss. With Spence now, a lot of people are still talking about that accident. Is he still the same fighter as he was before? I'm sure he is. End of the day, because he came back and fought Danny Garcia and beat Danny Garcia. And Danny Garcia is, he's a tough operator. But then we're against another southpaw. They're both going to be southpaws. How's he going to do against another southpaw? I mean, we know that Spence has the power. But with Ugas is not a joke as well. Ugas is a good, powerful, strong puncher. He boxes well, and he makes you miss and counters you well. So, and with the typical Cuban style, it's hard to break down, And if you make a mistake, they'll catch you. They'll hit you with a good shot. It's a 50-50 fight, in my opinion. It's hard to pick who's going to win that fight, but it's one to look out for because, like I said, they're both similar age. Well, no, I think Ugas is a little bit older, but I just feel that Ugas is still quite fresh in the sport. And I don't know how much that accident is going to affect Errol Spence. You know, is he still the same fight? I mean, he's been looking good in training, but like I said, time will tell.
Curious thoughts on Spence versus Ugas.
Well, it's a tough one for Spence because coming off of a surgery and all that, we don't know how he'll react. You know, his body react from actual fight. So it could be dangerous for him. I don't know.
So when you say that, I mean, it's your eye. So are you saying that you think he might fight differently just because he might be that much more cautious, or because if he actually gets hit?
Gets hit, it could be
just put him out.
Damaging blow. I don't know. It could cause serious injury. So that's a tough fight for a return fight after surgery like that for Spence. So big props to him for taking fights like that, but that's a dangerous fight. Styles, stylistically, I think Spence is a better fighter. But Ugas, pushover. I mean,
no, we saw that.
Big,
yeah.
Size, strong. So, I mean, he's world champ for a reason. He fought very good against Porter. Some thought he might have won, and then he beats Manny Pacquiao. And his style is, like I said, he's big and strong too. And it's not easy. It's not an easy fight. It's a tough one. I can't even tell you who's gonna win.
Curious question: Have you ever had an injury, like whether it was like your hand or your foot, or and gone on to a fight, and does it affect you mentally? Like, are you?
It's not okay. You don't think about it. You try not to think about it, but while you're fighting, you get hit a certain way, or you throw a punch a certain way, and it hurts you. And it's just a reminder that you were hurt. Fuck it. What do you do? Fucking keep fighting. Use your other hand. It happens. Got you.
Okay. I'm just, just curious. Yeah, because like what you said, how you brought up Spence, although he's healing.
Yeah, he might actually be fighting a little different, a little more cautious, based on the injury. Maybe he feels fine, but he still wants to be a little more cautious about it. So he might fight a little different than he's usually, used to. So yeah, that could play into the fight. That could play a factor. So we'll see. But it's a good fight, man.
Man,
does he complicate things for Spence?
Yeah, I think he does. But I think that his downfall could very well be the volume. The volume of Spence. Just the consistency. He's so consistent with his offense. He'll take that little short step back, then he'll come forward. He'll clear some things, put the high guard up, and then he'll take a step forward and keep applying pressure. And it's times like Ugas can counter, but I would say he drops his hands quite a bit. His hands by his waistide and stuff. And I think that, Spence will be able to, being a more technical fighter, being a more complete fighter as far as, physical. He's very physical on the inside, and he's smart. I think he's going to be able to figure him out.
Yeah.
It's going to be about pressure, bro. You got to make him know. No, I don't see a stoppage. I don't see a stoppage. Possible. It's possible.
Oh, wow.
See, I want to see. This is what I want to see. I want to see 2.0 Pacquiao version of
Ugas. So Ugas we saw.
Let's give me a little bit more. Give me a little bit more offense. Yeah. If you give me a little bit more offense, then he can probably do something.
But
what
if he stays, him the whole night?
Yeah, he can counter, but he's going to need more offenses. It's in Texas. I mean, you already know he's already down on the scorecards. It's Texas, man. So Ugas got to do something, man.
They're calling out Spence, right? Yeah. They want the unification fight, so that'd be a great fight. I think it's a great fight. This would definitely give him the boost, the confidence that he needs, and that sometimes helps you elevate your game. So
Spence throw too many punches for him though, Jesse, or Ugas?
We'll see. We'll see. Manny threw numerous punches, but he wasn't able to land. We'll just have to wait and find out. Styles make fights, so we'll see what style. How Spence's style comes across with Ugas.
We just want to get your thoughts on the Spence and Ugas fight. It's just so many great fights coming up.
It's a lot of great fights. I like Spence. Ugas is a tough competitor. He's gritty, but Spence I just feel like Spence has too many tools. Great jab, great body work. Very smart, mentally strong. I just think he just has too many tools to lose against Ugas.
What do you think? You fought Spence, you fought Ugas?
I think this is a great fight. Everybody, you guys don't want to hear that, but that's the truth.
It is a great fight.
Like, that's the truth.
Winner will have all the belts on.
I know, but like, you guys want to know, well, Sean, you fought them both. Like, who's got the more power, and who's stronger, and who's faster, who's got the better game plan, and better boxer, so on and so forth. I think styles make fights, and we're gonna have a classic case right here of styles making fights. The cool thing I like is that I think Ugas has thrown a little wrinkle in his game, and I'm curious to see what Ugas comes to the ring on fight night. You know,
what wrinkle in his game?
What's that?
Which Ugas is the best?
Which Ugas is the best?
Yeah, to come in the fight night.
So when I say of course I'm speaking about the Ugas that fought Pacquiao. That Ugas is different from, I would say, any Ugas we've seen before that. That Ugas added more boxing, was very selective with his punching, didn't wait too long, didn't get out hustled by Manny or anything like that at all. He was very smart and picked his moments very, very well. And I think that while Errol is a different boxer, Errol is not Manny Pacquiao. Errol is not going to fight in spurts, or at least we don't expect him to. I think that while, in my personal opinion, the Ugas that fought Pac is the better Ugas of the two, I think it's going to take a mix of both to beat Errol. Guys, don't forget, I said it's going to take everything that I have to beat Errol Spence, and that included boxing him from the outside and fighting him on the inside. Clearly, clearly Ugas can do that, you know.
If he counters him the way he did Manny, do you think it's stylistically better for him?
To start?
Yeah.
To start?
Yeah.
You know, because, you know, again, we're talking about EJ, and we're talking about Derrick James. Derrick James is going to see what's going on, and he'll say, all right, do this, do that. And Errol Spence is going to implement the game plan and also the adjustments. So that's why I think this really is. It's one of those great fights. You know, there's been fights in the past where I really didn't want to make predictions because, to me, it didn't matter who won. I think at the end of the night, it was going to be a great night.
What do you think is maybe underrated or overlooked about Yordenis, Sean?
He showed speed in the fight with Manny. I think maybe that, if anything, that's overlooked. And I think that probably because of Silas, they worked on the jab. He didn't have the jab that he when he fought Manny. He didn't have that jab when he fought me. I think that he's definitely, his boxing skills have come a long way. I think that the intelligence that we saw against Manny, I don't think that was by accident. I think that was, again, Silas implementing game plan, but also you have to go out there and be effective with the game plan. So I'm hyped for this.
Yeah. And just last one from me, Sean. Is this you like you said, the speed, the power, the strength, but you know, Brook was the one guy on paper as big as Errol was, but that was coming off Triple G. Is this the freshest and strongest full-fledged welterweight Spence is going up against?
Since me? Yeah, since me. And probably one of the biggest and strongest, in the weight class. Yep.
Think smartest, most skilled, also, just given his amateur background?
No. I think that Silas has helped his boxing come a long way, and has I think that Yordenis has intelligence as a fighter, but I think it was based around his way of fighting with that shell boxing style. I think now Silas has opened him up more and, helped him use the whole arsenal.
Only met the size because he's equal in height. Yeah. You definitely had the strength like Errol.
Yeah, I mean, size never meant anything for me in the ring, but, when you got a guy that's straight on looking you now and you haven't really had that consistently, they're smart down there in Texas. They know to get everything in front of Spence before this fight, so it's going to be a great one.
Spence Ugas is a big fight in the division. Who do you think wins that fight?
Dice que tú piensas que van a ganar la pelea de Yordenis Ugas y Errol Spence.
¿Cómo? ¿Ugas?
Ugas y Errol Spence.
Errol Spence. Spence.
Spence?
Sí.
Porque es mejor peleador, más pegada.
Yo creo que es mejor peleador. Los cubanos son buenos, pero no me gustan mucho.
He said that he's going with Spence. He's a better fighter, Man, Ugas is a good fighter, but he just doesn't like him very much.
Why is that? ¿Por qué?
¿Por qué no te gusta Ugas, el cubano?
¿Estilo?
Los cubanos son... a mí no me gusta el estilo que corren y boxean. A mí me gusta que van al frente.
He doesn't like the Cuban style where they box out. He likes where they stay in front.
He stays in front for more than most Cubans.
Me gusta el estilo de los mexicanos.
He likes the Mexican style better.